Alright, good evening. The mini boss rush in door number 2 of Rainbow Resort is done, and we move on to door number 3, which is another normal yet beautiful level. Yeah, the last level didn't carry out the theme for Rainbow Resort very well because, it was the mini boss rush, so we were kind of inside of a castle and we didn't get much of a chance to gaze at the sky and the stars and all the mountains and everything you see here. This is just a good place to be. It's definitely one of the more beautiful and pretty last levels of a game. I mean, in Sonic games, when you make it to the last level, you're always in some kind of factory or industrial place where there's things all over the place ready to zap you and robots trying to kill you and shit. No, for the end of Kirby games, they take you to where you can see the stars, they bring you to the northern lights, they go to space. They definitely treat you a little bit better towards the end of the game, that's for sure. Okay, yeah, what'd I tell you? They bring you right to where the northern lights are. Isn't that nice of them? I've never even seen them in real life. The northern lights, that'd be so cool though. If you think the background looks scenery for right here, you should see the updated version of this game. Oh yeah, they got some real northern lights in there. They got some real galaxies in there. I don't know how there's waterfalls in space. Well, actually, are we even in space anymore? I can't keep track of where they keep taking us in Rainbow Resort. We've been all over the place. I'm pretty sure the next door is a jungle or something. Something like that. Some kind of magical jungle. Thank you, UFO Kirby, for the extra life. Alright. Yeah, door number 4, here we go. Yes, I was right. I wouldn't call it a jungle, but there's like flowers everywhere, there's nature, and, we're not in space anymore. I don't know how we got here. If you want to pay attention to like how Kirby ends up where he does, you can actually pay attention to the detail in the hub world, because a lot of the time it has like something to signal or like show where the level's going to be. Like in Orange Ocean, the door that's inside of that that boards that cargo ship, you can literally see that sailboat like right right underneath the door in the hub world. So like maybe when I get back to the hub world, I'm gonna watch for that. Maybe like this, like the ground underneath door number 4. It probably shows you that like you're back on the ground, you're not in space anymore. By the way, these rooms, these color-coded rooms that they're sending me through right now, which I just died in, by the way. Yeah, he's gonna pay for that. But yeah, these rooms that they're sending me through are like, it's like a test of fighting all the enemies in the game. Like they send us through the mini boss rush. Like they're doing all these huge tests because we're towards the end of the game now. There was the mini boss rush, and now there's this, where we fight all the individual enemies. So we fight these guys that fly around. In the next room there'll be another one. Yep, these guys. Oh, I mind stealing one of their powers real quick. I think I get hit. Oh no, I remember what happens. I'm messing around with this guy, going like streaming the full perimeter of this room. Whatever, dude, you have fun in there. Okay, so I don't know how the background is like a grid. I mean, they're not being consistent with the scenery. I thought they were more consistent than this, but I think I'm thinking of Kirby Nightmare and Dreamland, because we're in some kind of matrix right now, and I have no idea how Kirby got there. The only means of transportation he has is the warp star, and I didn't know. Oh, that's why there's a grid. It's like the decoration on these things. That's cool. Whatever, this is the second to last part of this playthrough, so, I don't have to lose my mind running out of commentary and comment on the scenery anymore. It's definitely not a bad place to do that, though, because, look at this place. Yeah, you're gonna want to, like, move quickly at this part, otherwise those crash guys are gonna nuke you. I mean, I blew through one of them with burning power, because nothing stops burning power. Not even this guy. Yeah, whatever, dude, your wheels ain't shit. I move faster than them with the power I already have. Yep, knock him on his ass. What you know about that? Yeah, don't take the wheel power at that part because it's a trick. You can't see because there's no wind effect, but those stars are signaling like the air current on these sections, and that very first one that you go through is downwards. So if you use the wheel power in this store, you're gonna die right away. Yeah, you see, like you can probably see the influence of the air. Maybe not, I don't, yeah, there it is. There we go. I'm glad I showed that really quick before I exited that room. Here we go. They give you the firepower right there because you're going to be using it. And this is the toughest thing to unlock in the game. This is the hardest secret there is. It's the last one, that's for sure, because this is the second to last door in Rainbow Resort. That'll be my first attempt, and I will now set off on many, many more attempts. Yeah, this is the second to last door, but they put the last secret in the game in this one because the last door in Rainbow Resort has its own gimmick. It does its own thing. I'll show you in a second. So they couldn't really put one of these in there. It would have been out of place. So, yeah, I'm struggling with it right here. Don't worry. Sooner or later, I'll make it. Sooner or later, right? Right? Well, something finally snapped inside of Kirby, and a fire lit in his eyes, and shazam. What'd I tell you? Ain't it something? By the way, you can't see it because I use editing to take it out, but there's actually a bunch of pretty ladies up here waiting for you. So you know, that secret, even though it's only 5 1-ups, 5 extra lives, and you get no game percentage from it, it's definitely worth it. Just trust me. Kirby had the night of his life up there. He's going into this final door of the game he's feeling swell. Okay, so are you ready to see what they did for door number 6, the most colorful and most beautiful door in Rainbow Resort yet? Are you ready to see how beautiful and colorful they made the last level of the game? Say what? Well, okay then. They decided with this. We are playing the beginning of Kirby Dreamland again. The very first game in the Kirby series. Yeah, I'm no expert on video games or anything, but I think one game later is a little bit too early to do a nostalgia callback, but no, dude, I guess they really missed Kirby's Dreamland when they were making Kirby's Adventure, that, you know, next game in the series. Came out like 1 year later, I think. No, it's pretty cool though, because you're not playing the exact level. It's meant to look the same, but it's condensed. This has already been like way shorter than Kirby's Dreamland actually is. You see, we're already in Castle Lololo. There's no bosses or anything. You don't play the whole Kirby's Dreamland game again. You know, that'd be crazy. I can see them doing it, but I'm happy they didn't. So, this is kind of cool because you get to see Castle Lololo and the rest of Kirby's Dreamland in a little bit greater detail than you did the first time. They decided not to add any color to it though. Just Kirby has color. And I guess the 1-up has a little bit of color to it too. But yeah, the detail now is a little bit more greater. There's a few new places, like right here isn't anywhere in Kirby's Dreamland. It's just a result of it being condensed. But you may notice, we're in the water level now. You may notice that they're using the music from Green Greens for this whole thing. They're not switching the track for each world. But you can see that this level is obviously in greater detail than it was in Kirby's Dreamland. Even in Kirby's Dreamland 2, a game that came out after this one, the water doesn't even move in that. So this game is kind of taking advantage of the fact that it's on the NES. It can probably do a few things that the Game Boy can't, or make the game lag if it did or something. Yeah, you can see that this room is like half the size as it was on Kirby's Dreamland. Like, you can see the ceiling and the floor at the same time, and that never happened on the Game Boy. That's not performance differences. That's the level being different. That's not because the screen's bigger. That's not because of any of that. The level's just a little bit different. Just a little bit. Okay, so that's the end of the water level. We move on to Bubbly Clouds. Shit, you know, this is our first time seeing it in black and white, because I didn't have this game black and white when I did a playthrough of it. I did the Game Boy Color trick where you switch the color palette, and I did it to be fitting palettes for each world in the game. So, you know, everything here was like blue, purple, and pink when I was playing this game. But, whatever. Yeah, that's not a secret, by the way. That little hole right there, it looks just like a secret. I think I even went to go check it for a second, but no. There actually is a secret. Somewhere around here, but just not right there. Think you can guess where it is? You've seen it before. It's not very hard to catch. Easy to pass up, too, though. And it is, in fact, a callback to a secret from the past. They send you back into the moon. It's a much smaller fall this time, but it's an actual button that you get a percentage of the game from, and you unlock the Warp Star Station from it. And you still get the Maximum Tomato and the 1-up that they gave you in Kirby's Dreamland, of course. And that will be the final secret of this game. And this is the final door of the game. Last time we'll be seeing this. I couldn't have made it to the top one for the last, but whatever, you know. I'm only going to be playing this whole fucking game again once I get to the Game Boy Advance. So at the center of the hub world of Rainbow Resort, we find the door to the final boss. You can see who's just above the door. I mean, he's been above all the doors, but no, you're suspecting who you're gonna see in here. So the next part will be the last part, where we tackle the final boss of Kirby's Adventure. See you then.